ngota mano nyabo nya onyo na DNA economy. So I know about the Convener Policy Analysis and Research Congress PAC COOU, Special Assistant to the Vice Chancellor COOU and Strategy and Policy Implementation, Secretary Nigeria Economic Society, NES Anambra State Chapter, and he is from the Department of Economics, Chukwu Emeka Odumegwu Ojukwu University, Ibariam Campus. Aine Humaka Chukwu Nonso Ekesio PhD, or Doc. No, NZUKO Anambra.
Yeah, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
The way you are shaping your mouth this morning, it's like we are throwing the path of the white man,
No,
you want to address us in English language.
The central bank policy is written in English language.
Okay.
So I want us to dissect it
In English language.
So we are not misunderstood
Or misinterpreted.
Yes.
Okay. So we want to give it to us undiluted.
Exactly.
Oh, yes. Okay. Let's look at CBN and the policies that are coming from there and how they, affect us before we look at the recent one. Maybe their policies over the years, how do they impact on the economy and the Nigerians as well?
Well, the Central Bank of Nigeria is the institution that is charged with the responsibility of monitoring, regulating, and supervising our monetary system and the financial system. So it is no surprise that when issues concerning, our financial sector, our banks especially, come up, the central bank is always the one that is being mentioned. And apart from this kind of policies, the central bank basically is to maintain that, to ensure that we maintain price stability, so that our economy is not subject to the effects of uncontrolled price movements, like inflation, especially as we're experiencing today. Talking about exchange rate management, monitoring our money supply, and all that. And we should also know that as far as the rule is concerned, and as is its practice globally, the central bank or monetary authorities, whichever one you want to call it, should enjoy some level of autonomy, in the sense that it is devoid from any political, social, emotional interference, so that it can keep them focused on maintaining that's their mandate of price stability and monetary stability in general. So what the central bank has done is it's living up to its responsibility of managing the financial system and the monetary system, as it were. So we shouldn't take it that the central bank is has just woken up to look for trouble, as it were. But the central bank is carrying out its responsibility in the interest of Nigerians.
About waking up to look for trouble, is this the right time? Because we're just trying to survive the removal of subsidy, and then we have the electricity tariff hike, and we're battling with the telecoms also increasing their cost for buying data and also for using airtime. And all of a sudden, there's also a rise from the CBN as it comes to the POS and the ATM machine usage. Is this the right time to make such decisions?
Well, as far as timing is concerned, there is no time that is the right time. When there is a problem at hand that needs to be addressed, you don't wait till any right time. You address it immediately. It's just that we are in a situation where we are faced with a whole lot of policies happening almost simultaneously. Then you begin to wonder if there is some level of macroeconomic coordination, because the economy needs to be coordinated, both on the fiscal side and on the monetary side. So on the fiscal side, we have been seeing a lot of activities there. We have seen, what's it called, a removal of fuel subsidy.
Yeah.
We have seen, like she mentioned, increase in electricity tariff. Another one is coming.
Telcos too.
Another one is coming. So when Nigerians are singing joy is coming, we should be singing tariff is coming.
Oh yeah.
So you see, another one is coming in terms of that electricity tariff. We have seen what happened with the exchange rate. That one has gone up. Look at what is happening with VAT. In the new tax policy, VAT will also be increased, and other similar increases. So Nigerians are right to be asking what is going on. That everything we are okay. Look at the Nigerian ports. Is it custom? We increase. I think what did they call that in again by 5%?
Yeah.
The duty. So you see that everybody is just increasing everything. So that is the only basis I can use to ask, is this the right time? But as far as the central bank doing what it feels it needs to be done in the interest of our financial system, they don't have to wait for any right time. They have to be proactive. And as far as I'm concerned, this policy they just introduced is already too late.
Wow.
Yeah, because it has been overtaken by event. For me, it's dead on arrival. And in the course of our conversation, I will tell you why.
Okay, well, before we get to that place where you tell us why, I think when you are implementing certain policies, like coming from the CBN, they should, know that at a time, X-ray what they've done. Is it working? How is it impacting on the economy before even bringing another one? Like you said, no time. It can happen at any time. But if it's happening like a kind of a staccato system of implementation of policies, and none is working, and it's choking everybody, and they keep churning out new ones, is that right?
Well, you see, that is where I query with the secular itself, because the secular just says we want to introduce this thing because of this. I think they should have gone further, like you said, to give us what has happened in the past that has led to this policy, this new policy, and the increases we have just been told about. Because they should tell us, for instance, what did we used to charge before on these transactions? Yeah. And again, what are those costs that the banks incur in delivering these services to us that has made it such that if this increase the central bank has proposed does not happen, then the banks will be at the losing end? They should tell us what the banks used to collect and what it is costing them to process this cash and making it available for Nigerians for their daily transactions. Then we can look at the numbers and say, okay, based on this, we have looked at these things, and in consultation with social stakeholders, because there should be some level of, even if you have, or I have said that they should have some level of autonomy, it doesn't mean that there should be, that consultation should not happen. Consultation should have taken place from all spectrums. Manufacturer Association of Nigeria, the banks themselves, telecom providers that make these finances, fintech companies especially, so that we can have an agreement to say this is what it is. So it doesn't make it look as if the central bank unilaterally just woke up one morning and said we should do 100. Which
will now lead to NLC.
And you see, NLC, Serap is on their punch this morning that they are threatening to do this, do that, do this. Yeah, because the information, I feel the information is not as comprehensive as should be. Yeah, and the information should not only be the responsibility of the central bank to carry out. The commercial banks should also be part of the people carrying out this sensitization, and not just leave it for the central bank, because the central bank has just, what it basically did was to just make a press statement and put it on the social media handles. But majority of the Nigerians are not literate. Let alone financially literate. So we should take the message beyond that, and that is why programs like this should be commended because you are helping in the sensitization of what the central bank is supposed to do. Normally, they should even pay for maybe a 30 minutes or 1 hour program where they should come here and use this platform to explain to Nigerians themselves, so that I will not be here taking bullets for them.
Yes, I think I've hosted them in the past like 2 or 3 times.
Maybe they should come back
when
again.
they introduced such policy, they come here to analyze. But I wonder why they are not. Maybe we'll try and reach out to them so that they will come. And then I'm still looking at the issue of, before effecting any kind of tariff, there should be a round-table discussion with all the parties involved, the financial institutions, even the Consumer Protection Council and others, so that there will be an agreement. Everybody will be on the same page.
Yes.
So that when it finally comes out, nobody will now threaten to go on a strike or to go to court, to go the other way around, or to go to court. And then there should be something to cushion the harsh effect of the policy on the people, the generality of the people, if not everybody, So, what's your take on that?
Well, to be fair to the central bank, what they are proposing is in the interest of the system. Because I think we have more or less surrendered the issue of cash transactions to these third-party agents, POS and the rest. Yeah, because you cannot go to most banks now and get more than 20,000 in
So why is it like that?
Because they feel that it is no longer profitable to run these services, these ATM services, because maybe the money, the benefits far outweigh the costs. And again, they are finding it difficult to maintain their machines and the recoveries and all whatnot. So, and again, other transaction costs, like for instance, cost of internet service, what is it called? Telecom companies are talking about
data and the rest of them.
Data and the rest, and the cost of also strengthening their security infrastructure in these banks. So make sure that these financial service payment platforms they provide are not compromised.
Okay.
So it also costs money. But why? If you remember, I said the thing to me appears too late, because look at the amount they are even proposing. When you withdraw from an ATM that is run by your bank, the transaction is still free. That is commendable. But when you use another bank, it's 100 naira.
Yeah.
Then when you use an offsite, this thing, that is, what do you call it? POS, these guys that you see in shopping malls and other payment platforms that are not in the banking premises.
Because you are now applying economic jargons. I want you to break down that offsite.
Offsite now means now when you withdraw money from a platform that is, or a service, a provider, a financial service provider that is not a bank.
Okay.
So when you go to POS, for instance, when you go to filling station, other places that you get cash from, that is not a bank, you pay over 500. But the question is, you and I know that we already pay more than 500 naira to get even 10,000.
Yeah.
Yes, let's be real.
Yeah.
You see, so for me, it is just like the central bank just adjusted these policies for the sake of commercial banks, but not for you and I.
But let's take a look
because if that is the case, they are supposed to make it such that we are not supposed to pay more than 500 naira when we want to get 20,000 from any POS provider. Okay. But when you go and they tell you their charge, they will tell you if you don't want, you can go.
You are their mercy.
Yes, you are their mercy. So it's like take it or leave it. So how then, who is now carrying out the regulation, the enforcement, the supervisory work to make sure that these people are complying with what they are saying? And again, remember, why I'm in support of this policy anyway, minus this thing, is because remember last year, in the last CBN administration, the former governor said that one of the reasons why they wanted to redesign the naira was that one of the reasons he gave that we had about 2 trillion naira operating outside the banking system. That's a very dangerous.
Too much money in circulation.
Yes, too much money in circulation, and more than enough. And the ones that is happening outside the system, that's outside what it can supervise.
Yes.
So that's a very dangerous trend that we need to bring back this money into our financial system. So so in trying to carry out these things, yes, it may now trigger commercial banks to maybe avoid making this cash available to these guys from the back door. Yes, because you find this change that you go to banks and you hardly get 10,000 naira. But if you go to a POS operator and you need 2 million, you will get it immediately. Yes, so how can they
operate
with such amount of cash when the guys who are institutionally recognized to do that don't have that cash? And you're asking why. That's another dimension to the security challenge we are having. You're asking why kidnapping will not continue, because they know that if you have any challenge and you want to go and get you want to get ransom for something, you don't go to the bank because you won't get it. You go to POS, and these guys know how they get it. How can we get this? How do they get this money? Isn't there supposed to be some level of cap or ceiling as to the amount of transaction that these people can undertake in a day, and be able to trace, in fact, some level of what we call is having something like a register, a digital register, where we know the people who are operating POS in the country, the amount of monies they transact on a daily basis, and so we can follow the cash, follow the money. So and know where most of these illegal or illicit activities are coming from.
Yeah, but Jasmine, you were about asking him a question.
Going to saying that this is more for the commercial banks. This is more gain for the commercial bank system. We remember quite well when we wanted to have this change of currency, change in the color of some currencies that we used to use, and the POS increased their tariff, which made a lot of people to move to the ATM machines. At this point now, the ATM charges are lower than what you get from the POS. And as at that point when people moved to the ATM, we noted that they gave people not more than 5,000 naira in one transaction from the ATM machines, which made a lot of people to move back to the POS. And at the point POS, people started losing customers and losing their jobs as well. We had a lower number of people doing POS as at that point. Now, is this not posing more of a danger, or how will I put it? POS people losing their livelihood, because most people will now resort to come on I mean POS call 500 naira for 20,000 naira. Why don't I just go to the ATM? We know if whether the bank can give you 20,000 naira in one transaction.
Of course, the bank you get 20,000.
You will not have a cluster of people again at the bank.
See, normally, look, it's just that we have normalized some level of craziness. Should the economy depend on employment through POS operators? That to me that's crazy. Yes, it's crazy. So in as much as it's providing jobs for those who carry out those services, but that shouldn't be something that we should be looking as a sustainable means of employment.
But the people that these jobs took off the streets.
Yeah, definitely. I'm not saying but we should not now begin to glorify it as something that has come to stay. It should not be an end in itself. It should just be something that they just keep to, they used to keep themselves, body and soul together, and the rest of them. But look, is it because we have not started discussing even the security risk on these people operating these POS themselves? You know what it means to be running. At least banks, they have security, they operate in a secured environment. One of these guys are out in the open. They don't know the risk that they are incurring. So in the course of making money or keeping them employed, are we also considering the danger we are subjecting them to? So my own take is this: the policy is just too late in the day, because, like I said, we are already taking 20,000 more. The charge for 20,000 is more than 500 naira already. So are we trying to say that the bank will now force these guys to go back and be charging 500 naira?
Especially in
So we are trying to say that
where if anything goes up, it doesn't come down.
It doesn't come definitely now. So yes, because look, we have to ask ourselves this question:
they do 5,000 naira for 200 naira now, and then by 5,000 for 200 naira, which is calculated is around 600 naira for each 5,000.
For you to get 20,000, the charge is between 800 to 1,000, and like I said, take it or leave it. So look. If you check the circular of the central bank, it said that if there is any complaint or any will I call it contravenance of this policy on both the banks and these other guys, that you should report. How many will you report? How many will you? And
they will tell you come back in 1 month.
How many will you leave?
You know.
So it's more or less like to me the strength of this policy is one, in increasing the amount that the commercial banks get, so that it can encourage them to maintain their ATMs and to make sure their ATMs are active, so that it can encourage them to load their ATMs with cash, so people can come and use that cash. Then secondly, to try and bring in more money back into the financial system as to what is operating outside. But outside that, you see all these charges they are telling you, sorry. Yes, because some of them will also take advantage of these charges to tell you that maybe when you go to this POS now, this one I'm saying 1,000, they can even tell you 1,500. Now, I need to be on a central bank Tirego. Now, this thing. Yes.
And some won't even wait until March 1st.
They won't even wait on the deadline. So you see, so we
okay, so in terms of cost recovery and the national acquisition, how would that operate?
The international one is the one that is still not clear enough, because it varies.
Okay.
Where on the financial institution you are using abroad, the country you are located abroad, and how much you are transacting using your ATM abroad. So that charge, what it has said is that charge will be transferred to you. So there is no definite amount. So what you see is what you get. So, as far as international transactions are concerned. But for the surcharges, the one that you get for using some services that are outside the banking hall, that one is clear. It's 500 naira. And when you use a ATM of banks that is not your bank, you pay 100 naira. So it is encouraging you to stick to your bank, to be a faithful customer. Yes.
And if my bank that owes me duty of care is not taking enough care of me, I don't have to go to another bank.
But you have to stick to your bank.
Or even if you will use POS, look for POS operators that are making use of machines provided by your bank. Yeah.
Okay. That is another thing to it. Would this also apply to POS people using the same machine with my bank? Will I pay, or just POS?
Normally, it's not supposed. You are not supposed to pay when you are using a POS that belongs to your bank. It's similar as saying you are going to your bank, the ATM that belongs to your bank.
So what about the POS operator? Will they comply?
That's where
that are there to maximize profit.
That is where. So it is now when they will now have to start praying for.
And then who regulates?
They will now start praying for customers who use the ATMs of other banks. To come and carry out their business with them, so that they can make.
And I come there, they tell me there's no service in your bank. Let's use another bank. What happens?
You see,
normally it will happen.
Let me say something. You know, when the central bank started this cashless policy, because this thing is still a sign. The fact that we're still talking about
cashless policy
is a sign that the cashless policy is still not
fully implemented.
Yes, fully implemented, and not achieving the desired result.
Okay.
Yeah, and I for one am in favor of the cashless policy. Yeah. So, but the thing is, there are challenges we have with that cashless policy. One is the availability. Yeah, the availability of
network.
What is it? You see what this
It takes
network
time.
thing you just talk about. You just talk about.
Like you buy something, you make transfer, and maybe you have to wait for 30 minutes or even 1 hour. Down there, like you're under arrest until the person receives the alert.
And it actually made some people to move from using commercial banks to using microfinance banks.
Another major thing again is the security involved in that cashless policy. When people were, when it was rolled out, people were, very enthusiastic about embracing the cashless policy. Then over time, you started noticing complaints, people getting fake alerts, people. When you use your ATM, in some places, your details are compromised, and you lose your money.
At times your card sticks there.
Yes,
and you have to go to the bank to sort it out.
So this security, the fear of these things, now made it such that people now started, withdrawing from that cashless policy and going back to cash. And you won't blame them because these concerns are real.
Yes,
the concerns are real. So is it this money now that the central bank is increasing for them that will make them to strengthen their security architecture of these commercial banks? If that is what will happen, fine. But we need to deepen this conversation such that it is something that people need to understand better. The level of awareness needs to improve. So that's why I still come back to financial literacy, so that the average woman in the market will understand that yes, somebody can still make payments through cashless, through transfers, and you try and receive it. At least, minus all these conventional banks, you still have some of all these fintechs that are running now that they can also embrace and encourage people to on the benefit of relying on this other alternative means of payment, and knowing that yes, this policy is in the interest of you and I. But you see, the problem now is this: there are some costs already that these ATM operators and the rest are already transferring to you and I. For instance, normal SMS charge or the charges, they will tell you if you buy something for 1,000, they will tell you they are adding 15 naira. The charges that they are supposed to incur for that operating that machine, they transfer it to you, the consumer. So definitely, you won't be surprised that this practice will still continue, where they transfer these costs that the central bank is trying to include to you and I, the final consumer. So at the end of the day, the end users, you and I, will be the ones to bear the brunt, like you said.
All right, we are not alone here. It takes two to tango. We are encoding here, and somebody out there is decoding. So let's see how far they have decoded what you are telling them. So call us on 0904 9560 826, or drop your comments in the comment section if you're watching us live on Facebook.
You can also call us on 0706 538 1320. Send us message on our WhatsApp number 0705 113 8812. Okay, nobody's here. But I think in the issue of security, when we started this issue of NIN registration, I think it would have played a crucial role in mitigating the issue of insecurity, in the area of banking, cash transfer, and the rest of them. But today it's like the aim is not yet achieved.
We have a very big problem in this country. Almost everybody wants to carry out one policy or the other to show that they are busy, or to show that they are doing something. And remember at the beginning I talked about macroeconomic policy coordination. So how are we synchronizing what we are doing? You will do driver's license, they will give you a code, a number. You will do national ID card, they will give you a number. You go to bank, BVN, they give you a number. You go to you come to tax, they give you TIN. In fact, before you are done, your biometrics are in like 5 or 6 government agencies. and you are wondering what is going on. Can't we just have one central database and say, okay, anything you want to do, once I get your name, once I get your name, for instance, if it's the name you are going to adopt, once I get your name, you will need another BVN in the banks. Everything about you, once they just get your name, everything about you is identified, is located. So you don't need any other this thing. Everybody just works with that this, and you have one central database. But when you keep going from here to here, left, right, center, you are just duplicating responsibilities, and you're making it difficult for the system to operate. So I want to believe that the central bank can do better.
Okay, somebody has joined us. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning to the guests in the studio.
Good morning.
Yeah, this is Obiani Jurut. Okay, I'm calling from Enugu.
Okay, go ahead, Obiano.
Well, thank you for picking my call today. Let me go straight to the point.
Well, the point is that...
This is a new policy. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you loud and clear.
Yeah, it's a new policy because this time around, many people cannot be able to withdraw the amount of money they want to withdraw. What happened in December? Both in November, there was like a kind of cashless policy. And many people that want, even me, somebody wanted to get some money from me, I could not be able to withdraw the amount of money. And nowadays, it's 200 naira for 5,000 naira. If you want to withdraw 10,000 naira, some people charge 300 for 5,000. Some charge 200 for 5,000. If you want to withdraw 10,000, you have to pay 400. Your own money. You pay money to withdraw your own money. That is buying your money, which is unfair. So I love this new policy to go a long way. Thank you very much for picking my call today.
Thank you, but then your emphasis on picking your call today. We don't know anybody's number. So if you get lucky, we pick yours. We don't know anybody's number. So it's not a kind of a selective or picking of number. So please, it depends on the time your call comes in.
Someone is there.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello, good morning, yes, once again.
Good morning.
Once again.
Yeah, this is Marika Francis, all the way from Obunka.
Marika,
The guest in the studio, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Here is the panel to travel, in my own observations. Ndị PSA anụnwa na ya azụ with traders inside the market. Ndị a na-azụ ahịa na-enye cash. They now go there and buy this cash when they make their own business. So about 80% of PS you see, they make their business from traders inside the market, not even with the bank. However, with the cash, they will now selling it because they have already arranged how much they will be paying the traders inside the market. I'm an eyewitness and I know what I'm talking.
Yeah.
Now, the CBN saying that from March 1st, they will increase the tariff or whatever. Their next move is to fold up some of these periods so that I know that before then, I am a proper arrangement here, we're going to PS box, na ATM box, so that even your bank you withdraw your money, so that all these PS people will begin to have showdown. Because in a country, many institutions are folding. So the cycle now is almost 3.5 million to 3.6 million. Just about 5 million to 6 million. All of them, how this thing must be the haka and tariff will go to the organization so that so PS people get ready for folding up. Thank you very much. God bless you.
All right, thank you for thanking us. And I think the first thing, I'm just thinking though, CBN would have been to increase the optic fiber, this broadband network, so that wherever you are, just at the snap
easy
of the
transaction.
finger, ease of transaction, and everything goes. I think that would have been the first thing to achieve before delving into this cashless policy. I don't know.
It is not the job of the central bank to upgrade ICT infrastructure.
Yeah.
Yes, we have a ministry that has that responsibility.
Yes.
And it is not the job of the central bank to do that.
Yeah.
So it is the job of commercial banks who are providing these services to invest in the ICT.
Yes, but they can recommend. This is what
yes,
we need.
They can.
The enabler
They
to
can.
enable this function. That's
can.
where I'm
and
coming
that is
from.
why I was talking about their regulatory role
Yes.
to enforce their regulatory function. And again, there's something that we are not even discussing. We have gotten to a stage where cash is being traded as a commodity. Money is not supposed to be an interest-bearing asset.
Yeah.
Cash is not supposed to be an interest-bearing asset. So I don't. It's supposed to be. It's illegal. Not that it's supposed to be illegal, and it should be treated as such. This idea of yes, it's not as if I'm not aware, or the central bank themselves, they cannot claim to be unaware of the fact that now the POS guys have gone a step further by saying that by intensifying how they mop up this cash. For instance, like he said, they meet traders, they meet petrol station operators at the end of the day. So it saves those people the cost of going to banks to deposit at the end of every working day and the risk involved in going there. So they and again, some of them, these POS guys, even offer to buy these monies from them. Maybe for instance, I come to get 800,000 in cash from you. I will transfer 820,000 to you. So yes, and they transfer 820 and collect 800 cash. So that extra 20,000, they will get it from you and I when we come to patronize them. So this kind of allowing the system, the situation to degenerate to this extent is what I cannot comprehend. And it's not as if the central bank has not made cash available. They have, in collaboration with these guys, security printing and minting, the amount of money they print in this country. The problem is, where are these monies? You only see the brand new notes at occasions, at events, when people are bringing it out in bundles and using it, to show off. But
So something is really somewhere along the line.
Something is wrong somewhere. And the central banks will not just bring out this cash and give it to individuals. They still give it to commercial banks. So how do these monies get diverted along the way?
And the second to the last caller said, lamented about using your money to buy your money.
It's wrong. It's crazy. You cannot be in your own country.
Yeah.
Assuming that you are abroad and you want to get naira and you are that's exchange rate conversion. Hey, you know that there are costs involved. Yes. You can tolerate that, but not that you are in naira. I mean, you are in Nigeria. You are buying naira with the same naira. It's crazy.
Okay. Well, do you think that there are any potential risks or unintended consequences associated with these charges by the policymakers?
The consequences are that first and foremost, they will transfer the burden to you and I, definitely. Yes, this cost, definitely, it is still you and I that we pay for it. Just like I said earlier, that even some POS guys will not even wait for that first match, like you said now, to start telling you, okay, man, a central bank, it's here, so you have to pay. And so they will transfer it to you and I. And again, it will discourage this financial inclusion the central bank is trying to achieve, bringing people into the financial system, because people will be like, is it where we have to pay somebody to keep my money for me again? Better I keep my money, and this tendency to people to have this mistrust, we are only making it worse. So
is it now productive or counterproductive? As an economist, what's the solution?
For me, I feel that yes, it has its good sides. Don't get me wrong. Like I've said, as per how it will encourage banks to begin to pay attention to their ATMs, to make sure it is loaded with cash, and to make sure it is adequately maintained, to make sure that the banks. The amount of money we have operating outside the banking system can be monitored or supervised. And like this other caller said, it doesn't mean that it will kill the POS operators entirely, but we should go a step further by talking about properly registering these guys, monitoring their operations as to how they. So you mentioned earlier that yes, people depend on this POS operation as a means of life. Yeah. So yes, it's not. I'm not hoping that we wipe them off entirely, but they should be there as an alternative and not the mainstay of cash movement in the economy.
Even like a situation where you have like a dog and the tail story of instead of the dog wagging the tail is wagging the dog now. Yeah. Because they supply more money than the
so-called commercial institutions. Okay, we have a caller here. Hello. Good morning.
Good morning.
Anambra, please move away from your radio set. Your name and location.
Okay.
Yeah, Nkwele. Okay, Ghana.
Biko ihe ahụ na-ekwu ndị na-aka ọsọ ihe ahụ ndị a na-alụ na bank ejigo m bank iweta ego ruo ego adịrọ na ATM ma ha na-eje ndị POS a na-aba n'ime room ana ha na-emepi ha ego and the most of ndị a na-alụ na bank wesi that POS one of the owners of the POS so ihe ahụ na-ekwu bụ from ndị na-alụ na bank ka esi wee ma ma ya ekechi nwoke ekechi nwoke na-alụ.
Okay, Doc. The last caller is trailing the problem to the bank workers. He said they have people.
That's why
operating
they don't want to.
That is still part of the. That is part of
they
this.
Supply them all the amount they need.
That is part of this regulation I was talking about. It shouldn't be proper that as a staff of a bank, you should have. What do you call it?
Yes.
POS or this thing. No. It's just like I know some of these guys who are into who are what they call them again, supervisors for most of these beverage companies. You cannot be a supervisor and still have a depot. They frown against it. You should be absorbed or you should be detached from that system. So we should find a way of discouraging that and penalizing those who are doing that. Yes, because that's part of what has led to the abuse of the system. It's just like the same thing with the way we handle dollar. You go to banks, you won't get the dollar, but when you go to the bureau de change operator, you will see that same dollar. But we know that the way the central bank operates this foreign exchange issue is that on a weekly basis, it makes some of these dollars available to commercial banks to give to you and I. But at the end of the day, those who genuinely need the dollar, when they go to the banks will tell them that there is no dollar. They should go outside and get it. Wow. So how are they getting the dollar there?
So is central bank not even aware of all this?
Well, so what the caller said is not there's a significant truth in that. So these are issues that, as we are raising it up now in this conversation, they should be paying attention to that if they are really interested in sanitizing the system.
Okay, one more caller and then we wrap it up. Hello. Good morning. Your name and location. You have 1 minute.
My name is Fanny. I'm calling from Mocha.
Okay, you're welcome.
My problem is, I don't know, those people that are in remote area where there is no bank, those people, I don't know, they will make it difficult for these people. Village where there is no bank, where they make use of POS for their withdrawal. Now, they will make it difficult for these people now. I don't know if the central bank consider these situations or people in such area.
Okay, so let's quickly address that.
Take a look at that before we go.
Before we wrap it up, Doc.
You see,
people in the remote areas where there are no banks, how will CBN take care of them? How will the policy affect them?
Well, see, that's why I said it's going to be counterproductive on the issue of financial inclusion, because these people, especially in the rural areas who don't have conventional banks around them in close proximity, depend on this POS and the rest. So yes, they will still have to pay more of the costs.
Wow.
Yes. Now, the thing is this: we are saying that charges apply up to 20,000. These people in the village, they don't necessarily transact. Some of them don't transact with up to 20,000. But you see, even for not getting up to 20,000, they will still pay that same fee that somebody who gets 20,000 will pay. Wow. So those people at the lower end will tend to pay more. Because they are withdrawing less, but they are paying the same amount.
Because the POS agents will start telling you about how they had to travel out to get the money and come back, the transportation and all that will not be inclusive in the withdrawal of the money.
2 seconds, you are word to central bank and the weed in the expended money.
Well, the central bank needs to, yes, they should be encouraged in carrying out their responsibility, but at the same time, they should be more responsive to these emerging issues that are coming up, so that they don't allow it to threaten the aim of these policies or not any other policy they have. Then as for us, the users, we should know that it is not all policy of the government that is bad. Some of them are actually targeted at our own benefit. What we just need to do is properly sensitize ourselves on what the policy is about, the benefits like we just did, and how we can make do with it.
Honorable, we want to thank you for coming. Chukunonso Ekesiobi, PhD, Kenezenda in Afanonanketa. I hope you had that. So say hi to our audience.
Oh, yeah.
All right, I am Roy Ekwunife, and I'm joining my yacht now to be at my name, opotolopo.go. Tomorrow, I will be opotolopo.com on another edition of NZUKO, Anambra. Thanks for joining us.
And my name is Uche Chukwu Ebonam Ndebanono from Ugebenaja, over and out.